The first thing would be networking, sort of just speaking to everyone around you. The whole reason how I got my first property was just by simply telling people what I do. And I think it's such an important aspect, because if you go around and you don't tell anyone about your aspirations, about the fact you want to get into property, then you could be missing out on so many opportunities. So you could speak to someone one day and just be like, oh, I'm interested in doing property. I want to have my own portfolio, and they could be an investor, or they could be someone that wants to JV with you. You never know what's around the corner. And that's how I got my first deal. I ended up finding, I was working at M&S, and I was taking this disabled woman around shopping with her, and she was just like, my landlord's selling his house. A week later, I went and viewed it, and I got a purchase lease option. That was my first deal. And that first deal is so important, because that's going to give you the confidence to go and push on and do more. And it's something with your name on it. That was the most important thing for me. Something with my name on, something that I can be proud of, my baby in an aspect. But that's very important. The second thing is stepping out of your comfort zone, which I properly had to do. So I've been going to a lot of property networking events, meeting a lot of middle-aged people who have been doing it for years. And my first one was when I was 16. So I was still in school, I think, and I was going to this property event, and I was the youngest person, I think, in the room by about 6 years. So I was so out of my comfort zone. I went into this networking event not knowing what a mortgage was. I had no idea about anything. So I came out of it with, I'd say experience, but I felt a bit down because I didn't really learn as much as I'd hoped to, because I was so confused. Because when I was getting taught this stuff, it was like, the person who was teaching it was preaching to the people that weren't like similar age range to me. It was more like he was talking to people that had experience before, and not someone that was like completely new. Like I was completely new. So sort of that first step sort of was the hardest bit for me. It links with calling up agents as well. I was crapping myself before I called my first agent. The phone call literally was appalling. It went so badly. He was asking me like how much money I had, how old I was, how much I earned, and I was giving him all the answers. Like that's not what you want to do. Now it's completely different. I talk to them like they're my friends. I answer the phone if an agent calls me asking me if I'm interested in buying my house. I'm like, hello mate, how's it going? Like just so natural now. So stepping out your comfort zone is a big thing as well. So I sort of live for it now. I really enjoy it. Stepping out my comfort zone, it just makes me more whole as a person, makes you better as a person, makes you the ultimate person. I just got back from living in Africa for 3.5 months, and I was out there for 2 months on my own with 3 complete strangers. Like that was most out of my comfort zone I've ever been, but it was one of the best things I've ever done. So I think stepping out your comfort zone is so important in property, and I think it's you sort of have to, especially if you're a young age like I am. You need to step out your comfort zone. And for me, the most important thing of all was just having support around you. So like my mentor, the one who taught me everything. So like when I come away from these property events, I feel low, like I said. I feel like I didn't really know much, and I just sort of get it explained to me in a way that I understood. A 16-year-old who had no experience, who now understands how the property world works, how the property market works, and how you should go about looking for deals, sourcing deals, selling deals, anything you want to do. So having my mentor there to support me was probably the biggest thing. So it's just getting people around you, familiarising yourself with people that are in a similar boat, but also people that understand where you're coming from. I think that's very important.